Hey, Sal.
Hank, what's going on? We haven't worked a case in years.
I just bought my car at Carvana, and it was so easy. Too easy.
Think something's up?
You tell me. They got thousands of options. Found a great car at a great price. And it got delivered the next day.
It sounds like Carvana just makes it easy to buy your car, Hank.
Yeah, you're right. Case closed.
Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Yes, I'm still here, Hollywood. And coming up on today's episode, she's a performer who instantly transports you back to the days of classic sitcoms, cozy living rooms, and TV that felt like home. Her warmth and light made her one of the most endearing actors of her generation, and her work continues to charm new audiences decades later. She's a reminder of why we fell in love with television in the first place. This is Still Here Hollywood. I'm Steve Kmetko. Join me with today's guest from The Mary Tyler Moore Show, actor Joyce Bilifant. Hello, Joyce.
Hello.
I'm so thrilled to meet you.
Well, thank you, and you.
Well, thank you. I want to start with The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Is that okay?
I know that show. Yes, that's fine.
I interviewed Mary a number of times, including once at her home ranch in New York State.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
That was later in life.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I adored her. What was she like to work for?
Well, it's hard to say because I didn't really work for her, but with her.
Right.
And the whole cast was wonderful. I mean, it was fun for me because I was doing 3 shows at the same time. And that's why I couldn't always be there as Gavin's wife, Gavin MacLeod.
Right.
Because I was doing a show called Love Thy Neighbor, and I was doing the first Bill Cosby show when he was a basketball coach, and I was a school guidance counselor. So they had to get Georgia Ingalls because they needed a wife in there. And when we were on the set together, it sort of, people said it sounded like stereophonic sound.
She had a unique voice.
Yes.
As you do.
Yes.
Well, something else I'd like to ask you about is Helen Hayes at one point was your mother-in-law.
Oh, we were very, very close.
Were you?
Yes.
She was known as the First Lady of the American Stage.
That's right. And our relationship was very, very close. And when Jimmy and I were divorced, it was really up and down, up and down, up and down. And very sad for me. I mean, I think I probably stayed in the marriage longer than I should have because she was my mom. And I called her mom, and we were terribly close.
Did you ever ask advice from her?
About theater?
Yeah.
No, but she was welcome to, she certainly gave it. No, one time I did, when I was at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, I'm saying that, I was doing the play called Rain, because I'd done so much comedy, and they thought that's what I should be doing. But they gave me for my graduation play a very serious role, and I thought it was excellent. And Helen said, "You were wonderful, darling." She said, "Just whenever you're doing something serious, don't forget the funny bone." Like
Really?
this. Oh, yeah, because I think what she meant to say was you need to have hills and valleys, variety in your performance. Just because it's serious, don't be so serious. You know?
Is comedy your favorite?
Well, it's what I'm offered the most, but I love doing any kind of theater and any kind of television. I shouldn't say any kind. I really love 3-camera, which is really 4-camera, because it's like doing a mini play every week, and I love that. And theater is my first love. I really love doing theater.
I'm going back now to the MTM show.
Yes.
Since you weren't a regular, but you played Murray's wife, Marie Was it difficult going in? You had this tight-knit group, or what appeared to be a very tight-knit group.
They were. And the first show that I did, Valerie Harper was so sweet. She came up and said, if you want to run lines anytime I'm here, she's really the sweetest person. And, of course, Gavin I adored. And Gavin and I, all through life, became friends and very close friends. When he was living in Palm Springs and I was, and we do a lot of benefits together. And I adored him. And coming into it, yes, I think it's always difficult to come in as either a guest performer with a tight-knit group, but I wasn't really here or there. I was part of the group, but I wasn't part of the group because I couldn't always be there. I mean, one time they called me and said, we need you for a table reading on Tuesday. I said, I'm in labor. I can't talk right now. So I was very pregnant on the show at one point. But what was fun to me is that each character became more that character in real life. I mean, Ted became very much Ted Knight. And I mean, he became Ted Baxter. And when I showed up one time, he said, you want to see my dressing room? They completely redecorated it. But I mean, he goes, I have this new dressing room. But I played tennis with him. I lived across the street from him at one point in sad Pacific Palisades. And I could not return his serve. He had the strangest serve. I mean, it was funny. I would just be bent over laughing and couldn't return it. And Gavin, of course, was always wonderful and dear. I don't think that man ever said an unkind word about anyone, even any production or play. I said, you have to be a little more discerning, And Betty White, the dearest, and she said, when Joyce tells a dirty joke, it sounds like a nursery rhyme. So I got to tell a lot of dirty jokes, thinking I could get away with it. I didn't always. And she even sent me on the road with her husband, Alan Ludden, to do a play called Critic's Choice, which she had done with him. But she thought I would be right for it. So off I went to do that.
She's another person who I interviewed a number of times. Mm-hmm. This is about you, not me, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
Do.
We were doing a story on the L.A. Zoo, which, of course, was dear to her heart.
Right.
And they just had a new giraffe that was born, so we met her there and we talked about it and stuff. And there had been a heavy rain, and to interview her, we got into the tram and took it around the zoo because it's a lot of walking and, right. It's uphill, downhill. And the canopy on the tram had filled with water.
Oh, no.
And we took a curve, and the water went, centrifugal force, and came all over Betty. Betty, do you want to stop and redo your makeup or hair or anything? Nope, let's go.
That's Betty.
Incredible. She was, and also she was holding this thing called a bat-eared fox.
Oh, my.
Which bit her up, and she was bleeding.
Oh, my Lord.
And it wasn't until the interview was over that she pointed
said,
that out.
ouch.
Yes, can I have a Kleenex, please?
Right.
She was an amazing woman.
Yes, she was.
And just as nice as everybody thinks she was.
She certainly was.
Okay. You've also done so many. You have a long list of credits.
I do, don't I? Can't believe it.
Well,
I was lucky, very lucky.
There has to be some talent in there.
Well, I hope a little. Yes.
One of the things I was surprised to see you done was Gunsmoke.
That was one of the early on things that I did. And I played, Dennis.
Dennis Weaver.
Thank you, Dennis Weaver's girlfriend. Unfortunately, I think the show had been on 100 years, and I had never seen it. And there I was playing opposite him. We were in rehearsal. We're sitting on a love seat, and he got up, and he limped away, as the character does. And I said, oh, Dennis, did you hurt your leg? I think it gave me a That was it. It gave me up.
Oh, well.
But that was fun to do.
Well,
But my favorite Western was one with a wagon. Sorry, Mr. Microphone. With Michael Parks, called the Michael something story, and it was so good because I got to be dramatic, and I wasn't always cast in a dramatic role, and it was a love story. Although it was, you find out on the trail, my grandmother is dying, and I think, oh, she's Irish, and I'm looking for, as if there were only a priest here for her. And all of a sudden, the young man, Michael Parks, that I was so in love with in the show, he goes under a wagon, and he pulls out his vestments. And the cabin, in the set, there was a long track, and the cameraman was to come zooming in like that for my reaction, which was, my line was, "Oh, dear God in heaven, a priest." But they zoomed in, and I said, "Oy vey, a priest." I was very naughty sometimes.
did you do that intentionally? Oy
Yes,
vey, a
I
priest?
did it.
Oh, I
Yes,
see.
I did. I did.
Good for you.
I always moved too fast, too, on sets. The first show I did when I came to California, the first television show, was Thriller.
Boris
And-
Karloff.
Yes, and I have nightmares in it, and I in my nightgown, they're showing the nightmare, and I'm going up to the psycho house, and I come running down, and then I make a turn like that. Well, I came running down and made a turn like that. The cameraman fell right off the camera. They said, "You can't do that. You have to, when you're going to make a move, you have to let us know." And then I would also quite often stand up abruptly, and the mic would be, I just moved too quickly. But I learned.
Learn
Sort of.
on-the-job training, huh?
Absolutely.
You were also on Bonanza.
I was.
Well, Westerns were big in the 60s.
And I did a lot of them, and I loved riding, so that was great. But one time, my horses would always be better at stopping on the mark than I was. They could find their mark like unbelievable. I don't know how they did that.
They don't have a reputation of being very smart, so
They were
you
the
must have
ones I
gotten
was-
some good ones.
I did.
Who that you've worked with made the biggest impression on you?
Oh gosh, so many wonderful actors, especially my husband Roger Perry. Obviously, he made a big impression on my heart. Fred Astaire, he was, first of all, he was an idol of mine. As a little girl, I'd go to the movies and I saw every movie he did. And when my agent called me, I was doing a Perry Mason show, and he said, I was on the set, and he said, "Joyce, how would you like to do a show with Fred Astaire?" And I said, "That's really funny, Ron. Why are you calling?" Because I have to get back to the set. He said, "No, no, really, would you like to do an Alcoa Presents with Fred Astaire?" And I said, "Come on, I've got to get, they're calling me." He said, "So you don't want to do it and you get to dance with them?" And I said, "Ron, are you kidding? Are you really? I mean, come on." Yeah.
Cut it out.
Get out of town. Oh, boy, yes, I was thrilled. But he didn't know. I had envisioned that it would be a ballroom, and I'd be in a chiffon gown. There'd be chandeliers, and he would lift me in the air, and I would dance backwards in my heels like Ginger Rogers. But instead, it was the twist. And right before we were going to shoot it, he said, "Miss Bilifant." He kept calling me Miss Bilifant. I said, "Mr. Astaire, please don't." He said, "You call me Mr. Astaire, I'll call you Miss Bilifant." There's no way I could have said, "Hey, Fred,"
Right.
And I said, he said, "Could you show me the twist? I don't know how to do it." And I said, "You want me to teach you a dance?" He said, "Yes, and quickly, because it's in the next scene." So we went behind a flat, and I taught him the twist.
He was notorious for rehearsing
Oh, yeah.
his numbers over and
Yes.
over and over.
Well, the twist, he didn't have to read
No,
it
that's-
fair.
well-
But you've never seen anyone do the twist like he did. I
Yeah.
mean, just the flip. I mean, he's like, he couldn't walk across the set without, this wonderful move. But I'll tell you the sweetest story about him. I was at a ball, a fundraiser, and I was dancing with someone, and he came and he tapped them on the shoulder. And he said, excuse me. He said, I don't know if you remember me, Miss Bilifant. My name is Fred Astaire. That's how humble he was. And he used to wait for me outside of All Saints Church on Sunday. And he's just a sweetheart.
My. No, I don't remember you. Refresh my memory.
Yes, I'm sorry. What was your name again? Wait, young man, didn't I teach you a dance once?
That's very funny.
Isn't that funny? Can
Yeah.
you believe it?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember me. I'm Fred Astaire.
One of the one. I mean this in the best possible way.
Uh-oh. What is it?
You've been married 5 times?
Oh, my God. Can you believe it?
What's your secret?
I use secret deodorant. No. No. Although I did do the first commercial for that. It's not a good secret. It's not a secret. It's I just seem to choose men who, a lot of women do this, who I feel are kind of lost souls, and it's my ego, because I feel if I love them, they'll be fine, because I didn't know about the disease of alcoholism. So it was the lost souls I was kind of drawn to. And luckily, my last husband, Roger Perry, had gone to Betty Ford and was sober for 4 years when we got married. The happiest marriage ever, ever, ever. But I fell in love with him in 1967, and we were married in 2002.
Well, you don't want to rush into anything.
That's right. No, but it just took a lot of ships passing in the night, and we never expressed that real love. Well, we did, yes, when we dated. We did in 67. And then he was upset because it was a time when people were moving in with each other and not being married and having babies. And that's what he wanted to do. And I said, no way, Jose. I have 2 little children. I don't do that. I'm so square. That's why I've been married so many times. I just didn't hop in bed with people. I had to marry them first. I mean, how square can you be?
It's like the punchline to an old joke. You're going to do it again until you do it right.
Exactly. And I did it right in the end.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You've always had such warm, natural, comedic timing. Where did that come from?
Life. I don't know. I have no idea.
Are you able to laugh at a lot of things?
Yes, and especially myself. And I think it's so important in life. And now more than ever, it's kind of hard to laugh at the life situation now. I mean, I can't find any humor in that, except that we have to be good to each other.
Well, that kind of
It's
falls
anyway.
on a lot of deaf ears, too. We'll be back for more in a moment.
Hey, Sal,
Hank, what's going on? We haven't worked a case in years.
I just bought my car at Carvana, and it was so easy. Too easy.
Think something's up?
You tell me. They got thousands of options. Found a great car at a great price. And it got delivered the next day.
It sounds like Carvana just makes it easy to buy your car, Hank.
Yeah, you're right. Case closed.
Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
If you'd like to be more involved with us at Still Here Hollywood, you definitely can. Just visit patreon.com/stillherehollywood. You can support us for as little as $3 a month. You can get our episodes a day before they post anywhere else. You can see what guests will be coming up and submit questions for them. You can even tell us what stars you want us to have on as guests. You'll see what goes on before and after the episode, plus exclusive behind-the-scenes info, pics, video, and more. Again, that's patreon.com/stillherehollywood. We asked our Patreon subscribers to send in questions. And one for you is from Joanne Kemper. And it's, who was the funniest actor to work with on The Mary Tyler Moore Show?
Oh, wow. That's a hard one because they were all funny, but Ted was really funny. He really was. He just cracked me up all the time.
What was your favorite episode?
Oh, there's one episode where, I can't remember. It might be when I think that my husband Murray is gambling, and I go into with Mary, and I'm crying, and I'm with Ed Asner on one side and Mary on the other, and I'm going on one shoulder, and they push me over to the other. That just made me laugh. It was fun to do. It's fun to do, to be, and point in fact, we were talking about being truthful in comedy, but to really be sad, to be funny sad. There's a difference between just being really sad and being funny sad.
Like Mary's Chuckles the Clown episode.
Exactly, yes, great.
Have you ever improvised something? Well, I think you told me one example already that became a defining moment in a scene.
I'm dyslexic, so I quite often say misread a word incorrectly. And often I will do that in a script, and the director will say, "That's so funny, keep that in." I'm going, well, it's written right here. What's he talking about? But a defining moment, like teaching Fred Astaire?
How to dance, yes.
Yeah, that was kind of defining.
Yes, I would think so.
Yeah.
Dyslexia. How did you study so many scripts at one time if you were on several shows at once?
I tell every teacher that I've lectured to, every school, every college, every student, every parent. I've done 2 shows about dyslexia with dyslexic children and Hollywood stars that I wrote and directed. And I tell everyone, for 1 year I traveled all over the country because I started the program for public awareness about dyslexia. And now there's so much known about it, and I'm so happy. I tell them, teach children drama, because when you're learning a role, it takes the letters, like black letters on a white page, they don't mean anything. But if those words come to life, like hello, you're in a play and you get up, you walk across the stage, that's kinesthetically doing something. You open the door, another movement, and you're glad to see an emotion. Hello, or you're not. Hello. And all of that suddenly makes those black letters on a white page have a meaning and come to life. Mm-hmm. And I have to do that with everything today. It's exhausting because you have to use mnemonics. You have to think of one thing to get to another. And it is exhausting, but that's how I learned to read.
Do you ever overcome dyslexia?
No.
No?
It's like having blue eyes or brown eyes.
It's with you for life.
It's with you for life, but you do learn coping skills. I one day when I was married to Bill Asher, I said, this is so funny what the New York Times says here. It says, Mr. So-and-so mosquitoed a man. And I said, isn't that a funny usage of that word, mosquitoed? And does that mean that he stung him, or what do you, let me see. Joyce, it's misquoted. So I have my own world, it's very interesting. And I read one day that 9 nuns were pregnant in the Vatican. And I said, why would they say that? What? I said, why would they, if that happened, why would they say that 9 nuns were pregnant? And he said, let me see that. 9 nuns presented in the Vatican. But don't you like my way better?
Yes, I do.
I mean, it's so interesting.
It could have been Immaculate Conception.
That's right. That's interesting, too.
How did working on the Mary Tyler Moore Show impact your life creatively?
Well, I think in a good way, people remember me for that. It was a tiny little role, and I wasn't on that often. But people always say, "Oh, that's Mary Slaughter, aren't you? I know you," and I'm amazed. So it opened a lot of doors for me creatively.
Do people on the street, if they come up to you or at a restaurant or something, do they recognize you specifically for the Mary Tyler Moore Show or something else?
And Match Game a lot.
Oh, and Match Game,
Oh,
of course.
boy, do they
With Gene
ever.
Rayburn.
Oh my gosh, do they ever? And mostly they will hear my voice. I sort of, in restaurants, I have to be careful because what I say, they all know who's saying. It's like in school, the teacher would say, "Joyce, be quiet." And I said, "I wasn't saying anything." They say, "Oh yeah, we knew it was you."
Yeah, well, I was at my local Gelson's once over in Silver Lake. This is quite a few years ago now. And I heard this voice behind me, and it was Patrick Stewart. I didn't even have to turn around to recognize the
That's
voice.
right.
Just peek.
It's amazing. Well, at the American Academy in New York, they would not let me take voice classes.
They didn't
said,
want you to wreck it.
Yeah, they said, "What you have is unique." I said, "What is it?" They said, "It's your voice." But my first agent, he said, "I can't stand your voice. It's like chicken scratch." And it made me so self-conscious, And he said, "I'm sending you to a voice coach." So I went to this crazy lady in New York City in a big black brownstone house, and it was all dark and heavy. And she had this wild white hair that I think something lived in there. She was big lady. And she would have me take this carved desk, this heavy carved desk, and try to lift it. And she said, as you're lifting it, you go, "Fee, fi, fo, fum." Then you go, "Fee, fi, fo, fum." And I would come out, and I'd be talking like that. And I met my mother and father for dinner, and then it would go, and that was, and I say, they said, "I don't think it's a good idea for you to go there." I was so glad because she scared me.
Do you audition anymore? Do you have to audition, or do people know exactly what you are?
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah.
No, you always have to audition. Except for a play recently, they said, "Would you be interested?" And I said, "Oh yes, oh yes," and that was fun.
Well, on the stage, you have to be able to project.
And that I do. I do that very well. I did a play with Gary Collins, a 2-character play, and
Good-looking man.
yes, he was sad.
Yeah.
But the director said, "Joyce, I'm worried about your projection. I can't hear you." And I said, "I've never had trouble. I mean, in the theater in New York, you had to reach the balcony, and we didn't have all the fancy stuff." I said, "I've never had trouble with projection." And then I realized what it was is I wear a hearing aid. And to me, my voice was sounding loud. And so I said, "Well, I took out my hearing aid." And I was projecting. And all of a sudden, I'm waiting for my cue from Gary, and I waiting, and they said, "Joyce." I said, "Yes, well, I gave you a cue." Of course, I couldn't hear him. So, but now I've learned to overcome that.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
How long have you, I hope this isn't too personal, have you worn a hearing aid?
Oh, well, I had brain surgery
When?
about 17 years ago. And they had, in order to get to the tumor, which was not malignant, thank God. So every time I get annoyed that I can't hear, I say, "Thank you, God, it wasn't malignant." I can do with just paying attention more.
Do you read lips?
Yes, I didn't know I did, but I do. Because if you turned and talked to me, I wouldn't be able to hear you as well. I mean, so I am, but they had to cut the hearing nerve to get to the tumor.
Really?
So that's why I lost hearing, and then I wear a hearing aid in this ear. So I do the best I can. It's hard sometimes.
Hey, you're here and still living a vital life.
Yes, very much so. I'm so grateful. I mean, I've had an incredible career. I mean, I don't think I realized how incredible it was till people have started interviewing me a lot lately, and I think it's because I'm the only one left alive. Everybody else has died.
There's something to be said for that. Just outlast everybody. Well, you have such an endearing personality
Thank
that
you.
comes through.
Thank you. Well, I like people. I really, really like people.
Why? Just curious.
Except for one person. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. We won't talk about him.
No. But I do. I mean, I there's something good in everyone, you know. And I enjoy people. I think I have empathy. I think I remember one time in therapy because of about the third husband, I said, I might need a little help here. And they said to me, because I'm always working with children and looking after children, I cannot walk past a child without stopping. I said,
Tell me
"Are
how many grandchildren you have again?
14 and
14.
one great-grandchild.
Oh.
Yes. They're all pretty grown up now. But she said to me, Joyce, don't think you're so special because you take care of children. And I said, well, I didn't think I was. And she said, you're just looking after yourself as a child. They all represent you. And maybe she was right.
Did it affect the way you treated children then?
No, I mean, I just have always loved children. I had a make-believe child when I was a little girl for a long time. I took my child with me places. I was in foster care, too, a lot. And I think I don't know, I worry of I want to make sure every child is okay.
It's important to get a good start.
It is very important, very important.
Tell me more about some of the people you've worked with.
Gracious. People I have worked with. I mean, I've worked with so many people. And
Spill the dirt. Give me some tea.
You're terrible.
Whatever they say.
Terrible. I don't have much dirt to spill except
Well, I don't think you would even if you did.
maybe a little bit on Match Game.
Oh.
But you've got to get my book.
I know. I do have to do that.
There's only one. Well, no.
Who's someone whose professionalism left a big imprint on you? Anybody you try to emulate in terms of professionalism?
I think maybe Helen, as far as trying to keep grounded in being a real person, which she was when she wasn't being the grande dame.
Could she be grande dame-ish?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I always think about imitating her. Sort of, here we are at Sardi's and somebody comes over and says, oh, yes. She's talking like this. Yeah, oh, Joyce, yes. Oh, yes. That kind of thing. But professionalism, well, Fred Astaire was amazingly Bob Dishy, a wonderful comic, he did things over and over again to get it right. You know, when you're doing comedy and you have to do physical things, to watch some of the actors, and I love doing physical comedy. I really do. I don't get asked to do it very often, but when I have, I love it. I mean, Bill Asher said, I mean, ordinarily as a regular person, he said, I directed Lucy. I didn't know I married her, because I'm always getting twisted up in things and getting in trouble.
Wasn't William Asher married to Samantha?
Yes.
Elizabeth Montgomery?
Yes, he was. And I raised 3 of her children with her. Yep. That's where I get my grandchildren and so many children. I can't call them stepchildren because we're all very close.
you also had some connection, maybe it was through Helen Hayes, with Lillian Gish.
I love Lillian. That, to me, she was an angel person. She was so sweet. I'd go to her apartment and we'd always have chocolates and Godiva chocolates, which aren't my favorite. C's are my favorite. But I would always, these are so good. And champagne. And then Jim Frazier, who was her manager and looked after her, he'd be in the kitchen. And Lillian and I would be talking about very spiritual things. She was a wonderful spiritual teacher. And I'd go in the kitchen and Jim and I would share the dirtiest jokes you ever heard. And I'd be laughing, come out. And yes, where were we? What were we saying, Lily?
I interviewed Betty Davis once.
Oh, fun.
They did Whales of August together.
I know they did. I heard about it.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Oh, good.
She wasn't very nice to
No,
Lillian.
in the interview, I talked about working with Lillian Gish and, someone who could claim the same kind of longevity that Betty Davis could. And Betty Davis, without skipping a beat, said, Miss Gish never should have left silent pictures. It's one of my favorite stories.
That's terrible. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome.
Poor Lillian. Excuse me.
Did she share stories with you about the making of Whales of August?
No, but Jim Frazier did.
Oh.
Betty was not very nice. That's all I remember.
Reputation says that she wasn't nice to a lot of her female co-stars,
This is
but,
true.
that's why we love her.
Yes.
If you could revisit any character you've played, even for one more scene, what would it be? Who would it be?
Molly Brown.
Really?
Yes.
Where did you play Molly Brown?
At Kansas City for one summer. And I saw it opening night on Broadway. I stood in the back, and maybe it wasn't opening night because I was at the Academy, I think. And I said, I'm going to do that role someday. And of course, the song, I'm going to learn to read and write, that meant a lot to me. But oh my God, I had the best summer doing that. And I had just a great cast. Everybody got along, and I had John, my youngest son. They wrote a little role for him to play the newspaper boy, and Mary played a French maid. It was great. I also got to, at the curtain call, because it was dinner theater, I got to sit on the edge of the stage and talk to everybody, and I could have stayed there all night.
You didn't sing Over the Rainbow, did you?
No, I did not. I did not.
We'll be back for more in a moment. Who made the biggest impression on you? You have such an incredible resume.
And it's as a person, as a performer, or as what?
As a person.
Well, I guess the biggest impression was Helen because we were so close. And she just, I think a lot of her ways have just, I felt like she really loved me, and it was really hard for her. And I hate that I hurt her by leaving Jimmy. But she said, I write this in my book, and I do a show called Remembering Helen Hayes with Love. And it's about our relationship, of course. And when I was working on my book, I had an editor, and we'd sit side by side. And I learned really how to edit from her. She was great. Elena Vixen, she was terrific. And it was so hard because you have to take out, it was 750 pages and it's 275. So, it's like cutting off this and cutting off that. But there was a part in the book where Helen comes in after Jimmy and I are engaged, and I'm in the guest room, and she brings a breakfast tray out, puts it down, and sat on the edge of the bed and took my hand, and she said, Joyce, darling, I don't think you should marry Jimmy. He's not good enough for you. Well, first of all, what I said to Elena is, I was going to put that in my show, but it makes her sound so awful. And so I don't think I should. She said, "Are you kidding?" She said, "Of course you should, because that's how much she loved you. She was trying to protect you because she knew what you were going to be in for." But at the time, and only when she said she was trying to protect you, when Elena said that to me, did I realize that's exactly what she was doing. Because she also, one day in the garden, we were picking roses, and she said, "If you ever have any trouble with Jimmy, don't come to me." And she told me stories, about him when he was little. And it made me love him more. I mean, that's just he was a wounded person, and no wonder he was. His mother is telling me not to marry. He's not good enough for me. And so I hugged her and I said, "But you don't understand. I love Jimmy. And if you love him and I love him, he's going to be fine." Because he was very troubled, young. And we got married when we were 20. So I just thought if we both loved him, he'd be fine. But I didn't understand about the disease of alcohol. I wish I did. We were so lucky. We had the most incredible life. We had 2 beautiful children. We had a beautiful home. We both had careers. And it was just so sad that it had to end. And I tell my children, Mary and Charlie, I said, "Your dad was very special. He just had a disease, And they went through rough times. And my greatest, I can't talk about it. I get sad.
Okay, we want you happy.
Thank you. As you get older, you get more emotional, I think. Or it comes out more. I don't know.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Well, you're not old, that's why.
Bless you. What's something that still excites you creatively?
Well, I have put together a one-woman show called My Life Up on the Wicked Stage, and I've done it twice to raise money for different things. I never feel comfortable about doing a show about me and asking people to pay money unless it's going to go to something good, And so Roger and I and a group of Rotarian friends raise money for a shelter a center for abused children, an advocacy center in Colorado. And I did that show to a part of raising money. And Roger and I did every 2-character play we could think of, till finally we sat down and wrote a musical together to raise money. And we did raise all the money. And now it's very successful. And what was the question?
I have another question.
Yeah.
What did you say the title of it was? My Life Upon the Wicked Stage?
Yeah.
Just like the song from Showboat.
Right, exactly. And Roger was wonderful because right before I was going to perform it, a week or so before, I said, "I am so uncomfortable, standing in front of a lot of people and saying, let me tell you about me. It's embarrassing." And so he wrote this song called Not About Me. And I say, "I just want you to know this evening is not about me." And then I say, "Oh, there are many places I've been, and there are many people I've met, and I've done this, and I've done, but it's not about me." And it took the whole onus out of, "Hey, look at me,"
On occasion, when I was in news, I would be asked to anchor the news show, and sometimes you would have to toss to yourself narrating a piece.
Yes.
And I used to say, "Here's me with more." Got a few laughs in the studio.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. If you had to describe your comedic style in 3 words, I'll give you 3 words, how would you do that?
Spontaneous.
Which is usually followed by combustion.
Truthful. And lovable. I don't know. I think comedy only works if it comes from truth. And as Helen said, don't forget the funny bone. You know, that you can say something, but you can say it with a funny attitude, I guess. I don't know what makes it. I don't know why people say she's naturally funny. I don't know. I just see the fun in life.
Do you know how to go for the laugh?
Oh yeah. You mean on stage?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or, you know, sitcoms. Mary Tyler Moore, most notably, was in front of a live audience.
Right.
Did you make an effort to try and make them laugh? You have to play the truth in a comedy.
Yes, but the thing is, you have if you think I'm funny, and here's a funny line, no, you have to play the truth. And so
Right.
often I see that actors don't do that, and they indicate, "Aren't I funny?" You know, that kind of, and it's not funny.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink into the
Yeah,
camera.
exactly.
Do fans ever quote lines to you that you may have said that it amazes you or you don't even remember saying?
Oh, there's a lot I don't remember.
Well, you did have that surgery.
That's right. You can't blame it on. Now stop it. Listen, I was glad they found something when they went in there. I don't. It's so funny that you say that, and I can't remember. Of course, everybody quotes the things from Airplane.
Oh, that's right.
You know that but it's not my lines. But they'll come up and go, because I'm doing that. I don't think so.
Did you think, how did the role in Airplane come about?
Yeah. I didn't want to do it.
You didn't?
Oh, no. I did. It came about because, oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure how that came about. Isn't that funny? No, well, I was thinking about the Mary Tyler Moore show because I'd done a show with Bill Cosby where one of the writers, Ed Weinberg, had written The Longest Hook Shot that I'd done with Cosby, and he thought I'd be good for Marie. Airplane, they just came to me and sent a script. And I read it, and I was married to Bill, and I said, this is the dumbest thing I ever read in my life. It doesn't make any sense. I said, people are coming down the baggage claim, not back. I don't want to do this. This is just ridiculous, you know. And he picked it up, and he said, you are an actress, you act. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
Who did you meet on the set of Airplane that you really liked working with? Did you meet Ethel Merman?
Was she in it?
Yes.
Oh, what did she play in
They're
it?
in a hospital, and Robert Hayes is in the hospital
There's
room.
so much in it.
What's wrong with him? Thinks he's Ethel Merman. You'll be swell.
Oh, that's right. Well, Ethel I met on Match Game,
Oh, really?
and I just thought she was adorable. I mean, I was very upset when I saw her in Gypsy because I was so excited to see her in New York. But she played everything down in one. She didn't interact with the other actors, and I thought, oh, I don't like that. But then when I met her, she was wonderful and warm and sweet. And at dinner, a Match Game, she was telling a story about she was a volunteer at Roosevelt Hospital in the gift shop. And somebody came in one day and said, you know, you look exactly like Ethel Merman. She said, I am Ethel Merman. They said, no, not really. You just look like her. So she said, I am Ethel Merman. No, it's just uncanny. She said, look at my name tag. I am Ethel Merman. I'm sorry, Mr. Soundman. She was fun.
I'm having problems with my one eye. It's
Well, I have the
watering
same,
for something.
Mine is too.
Which would you like to switch eyes for 1 second here?
Well, mine's my left eye. Yours is your left eye too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but we'll just ignore it for the time being.
I thought you thought I was being emotional.
Oh, well, yes, I did.
You did.
What's the most unexpectedly moving experience, since your heartstrings seem close to the surface? What's the most unexpectedly moving experience you've ever had with a fan?
Oh, with a fan. Oh, I have it. I was doing Vanities in Chicago, and it was a blizzard. And my manager was Herman Rush. And he said, Joyce, I don't think you should do any more of these game shows. You're an actress, and you should stick with acting. And I was doing a play at the time, and I said, it's okay with me, because actually I wasn't thrilled doing Match Game and all the game shows, because it was usually on a weekend when I wanted to be home with the kids. And I was always bringing one of them to the studio on the days that I worked. So it didn't bother me too much. I said, okay, yes, he knows I'm an actress. I'm not a celebrity, I'm an actress. And excuse me, now we say actor. I still say actress, I'm old-fashioned. So I walk out in the snowstorm going to the theater. And as I'm walking along, this lady bumps into me, or I bumped into her. I say, excuse me. And and she said, wait a minute. What is it you do for me? Do you work at the market? And I said, no, ma'am. And she said, well, you work at my cleaners? And I said, no, I'm sorry. And I get embarrassed sometimes to say, well, you may have seen me on television or something, because people say, I don't watch television, and walk away. So I don't say that. So I just said, no, I'm sorry. And so I just kept walking. And all of a sudden, she came up behind me, grabbed me, turned around, hugged me, and she said, I know what it is you do for me. You make me laugh. And she said on the game shows and everything, so I said, the hell with Herman, I'm going to do it. If I can make people laugh, I'm not going to give that up. And so many people, I have elderly couple who would say, we think of you as our granddaughter. We watch you and we pretend you're our granddaughter. I mean, sweet things like that. And I did one of those autograph shows recently, and a man came all the way from far away, and he'd done this whole book and with pictures of me at a book signing that I did in Virginia, I think. And he had taken pictures of me and Roger with me, and he said, I came to give you this. This was in New Jersey. And I said, my gosh, where'd you come from? And he said, Virginia. I said, well, you come from so far away. He said, that's what you said the last time. So I guess I repeat myself. But I mean, what a sweet thing with a beautiful note inside. It thrills me, but it also, I don't understand it. It amazes me. It amazes me.
Where did you ever find the intestinal fortitude to sit down and write a book?
Oh, Lordy. Well, when Bill Asher and I were separated, and I had no intention of getting divorced, I loved him. But again, that was the old alcohol problem. And so I said, I can't be with you, because I kept, enabling. And I thought, if I go away, then maybe he can pull it together. I had learned then about being codependent. And so I went to Colorado so I wouldn't be in LA. And I have two of my children live there, Charlie and Mary. And I thought, I bought a condominium, and I thought, what the hell am I going to do in Colorado? So many people had said, why don't you write a book? Your stories are good, and write a book. So I thought, I'll write a book. So in the morning, I get up, go downstairs, and snow, and I make a pot of tea, and I come upstairs with my pot of tea, and I had a legal pad, and I would start writing. And I loved the process of writing. And then but the thing being dyslexic, first of all, the spelling is terrible. I mean, oh my God. what in the world was I saying there? And then I would always put the subject at the end of the sentence. So there are arrows like that. I should have saved those yellow legal pads like that. Then I would correct it, which would be a second draft, by talking into a mic. And then I would take the mic and have it transcribed. And then I'd take the transcribed part and rework that. And so, I mean, it's just one draft after another. And then when I thought I finally it was really going to be called Home Sweet Home, Where Is It? Because I lived so many places in my life. When I was 50, I lived in 50 places. And I hate to tell you how many I've lived in now at age, you know. So it was Home Sweet Home, Where Is It? It was going to be about the homes and certain things that happened in the homes, not necessarily sad things. And then Roger and I were married, so I kind of put it aside, but I was still occasionally working on it. And Eric Lieberman, who is responsible for my being here today.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes, thank you. He helped along the way by reading it and making suggestions and things, as did a few other friends. And then Roger was not well, and he was having radiation in LA, and we had moved to Palm Springs by then. And I had these 3 months in LA of what am I going to do? I'll work on the book. And that I had started in 1993. And I had a call from a friend, Bruce Cook, who's an author. And he said, Joyce, I have the title for your book. And I said, oh, really? What is it? He said, My 4 Hollywood Husbands. I said, that is the tackiest, disgusting, that is awful, Bruce. I would never title my book that. Thank you anyway. And I hung up and I thought, yeah, but it might sell books. And then I had to rewrite it. I had to take part of what I had and then channel it to, if it's going to be that, then I'm going to try to write something that will help other people learn about alcoholism, codependency, and the effect it has on children. Children again, right? So I rewrote it, and Roger was wonderful. It gave him, I would write a chapter, and then he would correct the grammar and correct the spelling. But he got to read over and over, because our love story is woven through it. So he got to read over and over how much I loved him while he was going through this terrible time. And then on the road trip, we did a tour of the East Coast. And every time I couldn't read a chapter. I just said, I'd rather just tell you what this chapter is about. And again, and then I'd say, I'm so proud of my husband. He's been sober for 20 years, you know. Roger, stand up, you know. So I got to tell him over and over again on this trip, this journey. Thank you, thank you.
And there were plenty of witnesses.
Oh, yeah, a lot along the way, yeah. So it took a long time to write.
Well, because, you know, the reason I asked that is because you talked about how difficult it is for you to, you know, here, look at me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but if it's going to help somebody, like doing the shows that I've done have been benefits to raise money for something. I'm okay with that. But here, look at me, I'm in a show, give me money. Nah. Even when I do book signings and people pay, I have somebody with me. I can't say, yeah, that'll be that. I can't do it. I can't.
I could see where that might be a little.
Yeah, that's
the ick factor.
I mean, I have your article, that'll be $20, isn't it?
What's a moment on set where you realize, oh no, I'm about to lose it and laugh on camera?
Oh my God. Not so much in television, but on the stage. I mean, on television, you know, they'll do a pickup.
Right.
But on stage, really bad.
There's no.
No, there's no. I mean, I'm really awful too. I mean, I can recover, but there's Larry Luckenbill, who's married to Lucy
Right.
Arnaz. I was just with them night before last. And Larry and I were talking about this awful off-Broadway show we did. It was so bad. And we had a German director. And a week before we were going to open, we begged him to cancel the show. It was so awful. And I was on stage the whole time. I even changed wardrobe behind a screen and had lines as I'm throwing clothes. I'm never off stage. It was just terrible. Lily Darvash found it in her husband Moliere's trunk. She should have burned it. But there's one scene, a play within a play, where I'm coming down the stairs, and Bob Dishy and Don Penny, both comics, are standing with their back to the audience, and I'm coming down the stairs, and I'm furious with them, and they are going, and I mean, and I kept saying, Joyce, use how angry you are, they're doing this to you. And Lillian Gish, Helen Hayes, and Daniel Blum are out there. And I said, and furthermore, if you do one more time. And the director, this German director, was in the wings, and he was saying, stop it, stop it. Well, that made it worse. I mean, it was awful. That was the worst breakup. It was terrible.
I've had the best time.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I have too. I love talking about me. Just kidding.
Contrary to public opinion, I love talking about me.
Yes, right.
I'm writing a little memoir right now. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere.
Oh, good.
But I'm thinking about titling it Being Gay.
Yeah.
Try not to think about it. That was my mother's favorite phrase. Try not to think about it.
Really?
Yes, everything. Try not to think about it.
Oh, that's funny.
Or put it in God's hands.
I love it.
Tell us one of your favorite dirty jokes and keep it clean.
And keep it clean. Well, I think this is a sweet one.
Okay.
It's a little long,
Okay.
but it's about these two old fellows in a nursing home. And they're sitting in their rocking chairs. Not in a resident nursing home, you'd be in bed. This was old folks' home, sitting on the porch, rocking. One says to the other, Urban, know what I did last night? He said, no, what'd you do? He said, you know that Miss Effie up on the 3rd floor? He said, sure do. He said, well, after supper, I took Miss Effie and I put her little arm in mine, and we walked us on down to the ice cream parlor, and we got us a double-decker strawberry ice cream. We did. Then I put a little arm in mine. We walked us on back to the home, and I walked on up to the 3rd floor to her room and sat on the edge of her bed, and I sang Roll Out the Barrel. He said, you did? Well, that's mighty fine. That's nice. He said, yeah, I did. There was something, Irvin, I tell you. A few nights go by, and Irvin says to Harry, Harry, you know what I did last night? He said, what'd you do? He said, you know that Miss Effie on the 3rd floor? He said, sure do. He said, well, after supper, I put her little arm in mine. I walked us down to that ice cream parlor. We got us one of them double-decker strawberry ice creams. I put her little arm in mine, walked her on back to the home, and I went up to the 3rd floor and sat on the edge of her bed. I didn't know Roll Out the Barrel, so I fucked her.
That's very funny.
Naughty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, I won't have to. I'll play them the tape.
No.
Thank you, Joyce. This was wonderful.
Thank you.
I enjoyed myself so much.
I'm glad.
Still Here Hollywood is a production of the Still Here Network. All things technical run by Justin Zangerle. Theme music by Brian Sanashin. And executive producer is Jim Lichtenstein.